was a time when I could travel England for weeks on end and remained at my sharpest. But now that I'm older, I become more disoriented, a lot more easily. So it was that on arriving at the village just after dark, I failed to find my bearings at all. I could hardly believe it was the same village in which I had once called home. But eventually I decided my best course was just to choose a cottage at random, knock on the door, and hope it would be opened by someone who remembered me.
Hello? You walked straight past me earlier, even though I called out to you.
Did I really? Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
You're Fletcher, aren't you?
Yes?
Indy thought it was you when we saw you pass by our cottage. We all got really excited. You were one of that lot, right? With David Magus and all them.
I had no idea you young people had taken such an interest in our generation. I'm sorry I walked past you earlier, but you see, now that I'm older, I get a little disoriented when I travel.
But why don't you come to our cottage? Indy was really excited, so were the rest of us. It's a real chance for us, actually talking to someone from those days.
I'd very much like to do that, but first of all, I better get myself settled in.
It's not Fletcher, is it?
Yes, and I just got into the village. Been traveling for several days. It was then, as I did so, that I was suddenly seized by an intense sense of recognition. I had chosen the cottage quite at random, but now I could see that it was none other than the very one in which I had spent my years in this village. My gaze moved immediately to the far corner, where once my mattress had been and where I had spent many tranquil hours browsing through the books or conversing with whoever happened to drift in. On the summer days, the windows were left open to allow a refreshing breeze to blow right through. These precious fragments of the past came back to me so powerfully that it was all I could do not to make straight for my old corner then and there.
It's Fletcher, all right. God, he's aged. Oh, he's, waking up now. I'll call you back. So, you're here.
Indeed, I am.
I've waited a long time for you to come back.
I'm sorry. I have no recollection of you. But please forgive me if we met some time ago. I do get very disoriented these days.
When you last saw me at school, I suppose I was a rather feeble specimen. But you know, that all changed when I got to 14, 15. I really toughened up, became quite a leader type. In those days, I idolized you, and in return, you bullied me incessantly.
Roger?
Oh yes, yes, it's very clear looking back. What a nasty little person you were. Of course, I'm not implying you still are today. We can't be held accountable for what we did when we were very young.
I'm sorry. And you're right. But now I'm not sure where to go. You see, there were some young people waiting for me in their cottage. By now they'd have a nice warm fire ready for me and some hot tea. There'd be smiling, adoring faces all around me. Except I'm not sure where to go. I'm not sure where to go. We spent several minutes walking around the cottages again, and then he brought us out into the village square. It was a little more than a slab of concrete beside a solitary street lamp. There was complete silence. Nothing was stirring.
Here. If you stay here, a bus will come along.
It's very late. Are you sure a bus will come?
Oh yes, of course. Eventually, a bus will come. Well, Fletcher, it was good to see you.
And you, Roger. I listened for the sound of a vehicle in the distance, but the night was utterly still. Nevertheless, I thought of the reception awaiting me at my journey's end, of adoring faces of the young people, and felt the stirrings of optimism somewhere deep within me.